Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says Russia has destroyed more than a third of his country's energy sector, but complained that Kyiv had yet to receive a single cent towards a fast recovery plan worth $17 billion. He addressed European leaders via video link as they gathered for the International Expert Conference on the Recovery, Reconstruction and Modernisation, aimed at exploring ways to rebuild Ukraine after the war. And Trent Murray joins us live from Berlin. Trent, Germany has said this conference does not explicitly seek to gain cash pledges. So what then are leaders hoping to achieve?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the leaders haven't come today armed with their checkbooks. We are not expecting any cash pledges, but instead a very big discussion, if you will, about the scale of the challenge facing Ukraine. Of course, it has seen so much of its vital infrastructure absolutely pummeled during this war, and for that reason, the cost and the bill of all of it is adding up significantly. European leaders at this conference today in Berlin certainly aren't shying away, though, from the scale of the challenge, if you will. Fresh pledges, it seems, for continued support from the likes of Germany and the European Union. But President Zelenskyy really made a very strong push today to that conference that this is money that his country needs fast. He said, this is not something that we need tomorrow, it is needed now. We need to rebuild our houses, our schools and our power plants. And it is that last one that really is the focus of discussions. We know Russia making no secret of the fact that it is deliberately targeting Ukraine's electricity grid in order to try and wear down the country, if you will. We're already seeing rolling blackouts. And the main cause for concern here, in the words of Ursula von der Leyen, is that without electricity going into the winter, it seems that many millions of Ukrainians could face an unbearable couple of months in sub-zero temperatures. And so that is why there is a real focus not just on trying to get that money to them in the medium and long term for rebuilding, but also to try and help immediately with their electricity infrastructure. Worth noting in all of this, as part of the G7, of course, Japan is here as part of the delegations, and the Japanese are offering up a lot of their expertise to Ukraine over the winter when it comes to electricity. The government there believes they've got the know-how to try and help Ukraine get the grid back online and quickly, and so we expect those discussions between Kyiv and Tokyo to continue. But overall, there is just a very big gaping hole, if you will, in Ukraine's budget. Some estimates suggest they will need around $750 billion to help rebuild their country. There are questions, though, when it comes to that amount, questions around who will pay, whether that should be more coming from the United States or from Europe, but also, more importantly, some disagreement within Europe about when that money should start to be delivered. Some European countries are suggesting, of course, that it's difficult to start handing money over now for a rebuild, given the country is still at war. Of course, European taxpayers essentially subsidising a rebuild of infrastructure that could then just end up being destroyed again afterwards if this conflict doesn't come to an end. It is an enormous challenge for world leaders right now. But as I say, President Zelenskyy saying that once again, Ukraine really just does need the world to help it in what is a very difficult time for its country.
Well, thanks for that. Trent Murray reporting live to us there from Berlin.